Yo, what's happening, people? Another back again for another stream. Bloody hell, what a game! You know what? Yeah, it wasn't. It was a weird game because I think there was a lot of mistakes that, from what I could see. Um, I mean, Darwin Nunes playing a straight ball, um, which got intercepted was so dumb. You know, in that position there, you don't play as when you're so deep in your own half. You don't play that kind of ball because you're just asking for it to get cut out. And obviously, Darwin Nunes isn't technically that good anyway to be playing them sort of passes. But nonetheless, United got the win. You know, you have to be happy with that. I mean, performance again wasn't good enough, but for pure excitement and I suppose pure determination, United ended up getting the win. And obviously, just seen now on the draw, United have they've got Coventry now in the next round at Wembley. So you'd fully expect them to try and see if they can get to the final. You know, it's not a foregone conclusion, but yeah, obviously the expectation will be to beat Coventry and then face either Man City or Chelsea in the final. You know, yeah, man, what a game! What a game in terms of excitement. You know, for me personally, I think Liverpool gave the game away. I think the first 10 minutes of the game, Man United started sharp. You know, obviously McTominay got the goal. I do think Kelleher should have saved the shot from Garnacho. I believe if Alisson was in goal, I think Alisson probably catches that, or he at least palms it away so that McTominay doesn't have a free shot to tap it in. But yeah, I mean, he got the goal, and then from there, I think Liverpool kind of come back into the game. They were more in control. The fact that this manager continuously set up with a midfield of Bruno, McTominay, and Kobe Minu, it was asking for trouble, and the amount of gaps in the midfield as well was a joke. I mean, the thing is as well, Kobe Minu was playing as a lone six, so you've got an 18-year-old playing in a pressure game against arch rivals as a lone six, and if you look ahead of that, the front five ahead of him, Bruno, McTominay, Garnacho, Rashford, and Hoyland. Yeah, all five of them players are all players that are better running off the ball, you know. And then you're playing someone like Kobe, as I said, who's 18, to patrol the midfield when you've got players that are playing ahead of him, and they're just running into the box. You know, there's no security on the ball. You know, and Man United, to be fair, got away with it because you can't be playing with five players like that are all just players that just want to run into the box. You know, they're not technically secure on the ball, and expect to try and keep a team like Liverpool at bay. You know, they got away with it today. But against the better teams, if they think they're going to persist with that, then yeah, there's going to be obviously differences in results. You know. But we're going to run through the player performances. Andre Onana, as I've mentioned before, Onana's going from strength to strength. You know, I think he made a couple of key saves as well. I know probably routine saves, but obviously they still got to be saved. But I think his positioning and the ball at his feet, you know, and I think some of the saves he made as well was crucial at a crucial time. You know, I'm very happy with Onana. I think Onana's, as I said, is going from strength to strength, and long may it continue. You know, I believe with a better manager, who wants to play, you know, with high possession. I believe Onana, that's where he comes into it, you know. And as I say, for a goalkeeper, you shouldn't have to be facing too many shots in the first place if your team is organised. But yeah, I thought he done well, and yeah, I think his performance will probably go under the radar. But I think him, along with the defense, was the key reason as to why United got through in the end. Moving on to Dalot. Dalot's ridiculous, you know. He's got to be arguably arguably the most improved player in the league, I would say. Like Dallo for me is the best right back in the league currently at the moment. You know, Dallow's strong. You know, he's quick. He's good on the ball. He can cross. He's technical off both feet. You know, he's aggressive. Like yeah, man. He's come on leaps and bounds. And as I say, I think what's good is that every time I'm doing a stream now, like Dallow's just standing out. Like, and he's always been a positive replying what I'm giving him for how I think he's done. You know, he's just going from strength to strength, man. And yeah, long may it continue. Let me move on to centre back Raphael Varane. Now, obviously, the game was built up. I built up for Varane versus Van Dijk. So I believe whoever had the best game out of those two would probably see their teams through to the next round. Obviously, Varane come off towards the second half. But when Varane was playing, as I said, defense was doing well. I think Varane's positioning is very underrated. You know, too many times Varane is in the right positions, just clearing stuff out. You know, and that's his experience. And Van Dijk's the same as well, really. You know, but yeah, those like Varane is just it's cool, calm, and composed. You know, obviously he had Lindelof next to him as well. And I felt that they kind of complemented each other quite well in that game. But yeah, Varane's a leader. Obviously, he come off. I think none of the goals were his fault. But obviously, when he came off, I'm presuming it was obviously for fitness reasons, you know, because I didn't really understand why he did come off. But obviously, he wanted to kind of freshen things up, I suppose, and either Varane had a bit of a knock or he was feeling a bit tired. But when he was on, yeah, played very well. Lindelof, yeah, same Lindelof. I thought he done well. You know, I think he was a bit more aggressive today from what I've previously seen. His positioning today was actually quite good as well. You know, he's always seemed to be in the right positions. We know physically, obviously, he's not really dominant, and in terms of his pace, he can be found wanting. But I think in possession he was fine, and obviously he moved out to left back as well, and also he was taken off in extra time. But yeah, I think when he played, when he was on the pitch, he was solid enough. I thought the whole defense done well. There wasn't really not much issue there. So yeah, good performance from Lindelof. Moving on to left back Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Just come back off injury and was solely in the team to stop Mo Salah. You know, obviously Salah that's cutting in on his left foot, and obviously Wan-Bissaka is a good one-on-one defender. And Salah didn't really get too much change out of him, to be honest. You know, I think Wan-Bissaka, as we know, on the ball isn't the greatest. I think he's competent, but I think when you look at some of the other fullbacks in world football and you see him, you think that, you know, like his quality gets shown up a lot. And I think he's just decent, but he's nowhere near the top of the tree when it comes to his overall quality. But I thought he had a good game before he come off as well, you know. And it's probably good to see him back now coming into the closing stages of the season where his defensive abilities are going to be key, you know. Moving on to midfield. Kobbie Mainoo. Do you know what? I keep saying it. This guy is going to be an absolute superstar. He is. Do you know what? Yeah, it's nice to see a player coming from the youth lately that is of real quality. You know, I mean, obviously the likes of Paul Pogba coming through there. Then obviously previously before that, you had guys like Ravel Morrison, Angel Gomez, Giuseppe Rossi. Some of them didn't move on to the first team regularly for different reasons, you know. And obviously, you have the most recents of Rashford, Lingard, McTominay, who for me aren't the level. And then you've got Garnacho, who they're trying to push through now, and you got Kobbie Mainoo, and Kobbie Mainoo is the elite talent, I would say, out of all those that I've mentioned. You know, Pogba, Kobbie Mainoo, Ravel Morrison, Giuseppe Rossi. these guys are elite talents, and as I say, yeah, Kobe Manu is another one now. Yeah, he's ridiculous, Kobe Manu. I mean, do you know what I like about Kobe Manu? Under pressure, yeah, he takes the ball. As I said, he's playing as a lone six, but he'll just take the ball in any situation, and his quick feet, he can just get out of tight spaces, and yeah, man, it's just a joy to watch, to be honest with you. And these are the kind of players you want to see play. Obviously, he come off end of the second half. I mean, yeah, he's gonna be feeling jaded because he's playing in a position where, in a sense, he's by himself because you've got two offensive midfielders that want to just run into the box. So he's having to play there by himself. And even times as well when the ball was getting played to him, he was having no option because a lot of these players want to run away from the ball, and it's testament to someone like Kobe Minu that he's just so comfortable on the ball. He relies on his ability to get him out of situations, and another top performance. Moving on to midfield, Scott McTominay. I mean, apart from the goal in the first half, he didn't really offer nothing. I mean, he offers a physical threat. When I knew Casemiro was injured, I knew McTominay would be playing because his manager is just doing this consistently. But yeah, McTominay for me is just someone. He's a bench option for the last 15 minutes if he's still at the club. Personally, I'd move him on. He's not good enough. But yeah, I think he had 1 goal, 1 assist. So I think his goal was a simple tap-in. His assist to Rashford was a good weight of pass to allow Rashford to just slide it into the bottom corner. But on the whole, I think, yeah, McTominay can't be playing there in the long term for me. You need to be getting someone alongside Kobe Minu. I mean, I'd love to get Florian Wirtz from Bayer Leverkusen or Eberechi Eze in the 10 position. And then obviously, yeah, move on the likes of these McTominays. I think unless you're going to use him as a bench option for the last 15 minutes consistently, there's no space for him in the team, in my opinion. But on the whole, he got his goal and a good assist as well. So he probably will be happy with his performance. For me, my standards are very high, so I don't think he had a great game. But yeah, we move on. Bruno Fernandes, this guy's a disgrace. How he's captain is a mystery. How he plays every single minute of every game is a joke. His attitude stinks. Too many times throwing his hands up in the air. And the guy actually believes his own hype. He actually thinks he's better than what he is, He's careless in possession. I thought in the first 5 minutes, he kept it quite simple. But then with Bruno, he always reverts back to his usual self and just playing long ball after long ball, ill discipline, has a habit of trying to blame others. And his attitude stinks, And as I said, next season, because this manager is blatantly going to keep playing him, so there's no point complaining. But next season, I want to see a new manager come in, strip him of the captaincy, and remove him from the lineup because these games don't really fool me. Yeah, Man United got through to the next round, and it's good. They got Coventry now, but there's going to be tougher tests ahead. They've got to play Liverpool again in the league. They've got to play Chelsea away. They've got to play Arsenal at home. So there's going to be tougher games coming up. And yeah, so obviously these players now need to kind of see if they can kick on and see what they've got left until the end of the season. But with Bruno, as I said, yeah, another poor performance from Bruno. So yeah, frustrating watching this guy. I mean, all the theatrics of I think he was hobbling towards the end. Like he may have had like a little knock, but that's all for the cameras. You know what I mean? Because when he's steaming into challenges or running, trying to run someone down, these excuses don't get made. So he might have had a little knock, but don't excuse his performance. It was poor. Moving on to Rashford. To be fair, Rashford had a poor game. The way Jarell Quansah just dribbled around him, and Rashford was half-hearted in trying to track back was a joke. I mean, I know he got his goal, but I think he did miss about 2 or 3 chances before that, you know. So he was bound to get a goal because the way the game was going, another chance falling to him, it was going to happen, you know. So he's goal quite well, but on the whole, didn't really play well. But this is what's happened now with football, you know. If people are true to themselves, they won't even care about the goal that he scored. They'll just think, you know, he didn't play well at all. But as I said, like, they move on to the next round, and hopefully in the next games, you see a better performance, you know. Garnacho, I don't think he beat his fullback once, Joe Gomez. Even with Conor Bradley that come on, he didn't. I think what Garnacho does a lot of the time is take it on his weak foot and then try to hit it off the defender, which notoriously goes off for a corner, you know. For me, he's someone that in the long term can't be starting for Man United. He ain't good enough, you know. There was moments today in the game where he looked quite lively, but his actual quality is nowhere near good enough, you know. And yeah, I think personally, the quicker Man United can get to the summer transfer window and start looking at potential targets, you can start trying to see how the team's going to shape up with a new manager, and that's what I'm looking forward to. So, yeah, I think he flatters to deceive, in my opinion. I mean, to be fair, for the Ahmad's goal, the weight of pass was good. I mean, I was expecting him to keep running with the ball, but I think that's probably the best thing he done of note in the game in terms of his weight of pass, and the rest is history, you know. But yeah, another underwhelming performance for me. So as I said, yeah, wait until the summer with a new manager, and then we can just see what's going to happen in terms of this team going forward. Rasmus Højlund, absolutely non-existent, poor. I think when he did get the ball put up to him, he was losing it. I think I can count that he just done one good thing in terms of the ball being played into him. People will start saying he's come out from injury. I don't want to hear that excuse. There's been many players come out from injury and have put in a better performance. I just think today he come up against Van Dijk, who's levels above him, you know, and he wasn't getting no change out of Van Dijk, you know. Yeah, he was poor, to be honest with you, and he cost 70 million as well, Rasmus Højlund, and for a 70 million performance, that was nothing short of embarrassing, you know. I think he tired probably towards the end of the game, but as I said, I don't care if he come back off injury. He was poor, you know. 70 million for Højlund to put in that kind of performance is shameful, you know, and the standards have to be higher, you know. It ain't good enough. So, yeah, I mean, we'll see next game. You know, no doubt people will start getting excited if he gets like a little tap in. But for me, on the whole, his general play isn't good enough, you know. And in the summer, as I said, I mean, I would like an Ivan Toney to come in. Me personally, I'll give Martial a new contract because the striker market stinks. But yeah, I think that in the summer, that position needs to be rectified immediately. But as I said, we move on. And then we look at the subs that come on. So we had I think Harry Maguire come on, done okay. I think he dealt with Nunes fairly well when he was on the pitch. Obviously, he was, as we know, quite dominant in both areas of the pitch aerially. So I thought he had an okay game when he come on. Nothing too specific, nothing too nothing of major concern, should I say? Because I thought when he came on, he would have got done for pace. But to be honest with you, he kind of positioned himself quite well and didn't allow Nunes or Diaz when he was on to kind of outdo him for pace, really. So that was quite encouraging. Who else come on? Christian Eriksen come on for Kobbie Mainoo. Eriksen coming on, he sat deep in the midfield and dictating play. You know, as we know with Eriksen, in possession, because he set up Rashford for the one that Rashford missed before 90 minutes. And that's what Eriksen can do, pick out passes and just control the tempo of the game. For me, I would have started him in a number 10 position to get more control. Because when you got Kobe in there, and if he's gonna play Bruno, you need like a Eriksen in there to have control. Because to have one control of the game in Kobe, and then you got 5 players ahead of him that are just players that want to run beyond the ball, you're always going to be on the back foot, But I thought when he come on, he done very well. Anthony, do you know what? Anthony come on, and Anthony arguably was a turning point. Obviously, he got his goal as well, took it very well on his right foot. I think Anthony, for me, I don't think long term he is good enough, but I do think that with a better system around him, he has his uses, But I think that he was the catalyst really for the comeback. Even though I do think Liverpool gave the game away, but Anthony was key for me in terms of pressing as well. We come on, he's pressing quite a lot, and I think as well he was the driving force in terms of showing a lot of energy to trying to get United back into the game. But as I said, I don't think he's good enough in the long term, but he can be happy with his performance and try and build on from it. And then we have Ahmad, and as I've been saying, been calling for Ahmad to play, to get regular minutes. How this guy doesn't get game time is criminal, and who better than to score the winner against the arch rivals. And it's funny it's funny how you have a technical player like Ahmad, even before that Martial, who scored winners against the rivals. And if you look at Ahmad's goal, it was technical ability. Because I tell you now, if you put someone like a Garnacho on his right hand side, or if you put a Højlund in that position, I don't believe they scored that. I don't believe they scored that, because that goal was Ahmad's intelligence to move the ball to the side away from Conor Bradley. And then people will say that the connection wasn't perfect, but it's the way he kind of hit the shot, which was going away from Kelleher in goal. Whereas I believe if that was a Garnacho or a Højlund, they would have put their foot through it, and I don't believe that. I don't believe it would have been on target. So, as I said, Ahmad's a top player, man. This is the kind of player United need to be building a new team around. They don't need to be building it around the likes of Højlund and Garnacho. As I say, they're not good enough. They need to be bench options or moved on. Ahmad is a technician. You can just see when he's on the ball how calm and composed he is. How creative he is as well. And as I said, he got the goal, got sent off as well, which is funny. But yeah, Ahmad's a top quality player. I've been raving about this guy for ages, and it's just nice to see that he got the goal. And I hope from now on he gets the game time he deserves, because I say he went out on loan to Sunderland, and the impact he made for them was nothing short of sensational, really. So yeah, I'm just hoping end of the season he gets more game time and shows his worth, really. But on the whole, yeah, Man United got through. And yeah, they can be. Mason Mount come on, didn't really have an impact. Yeah, not really much to say about Mason Mount. Probably for his sake, he's probably glad to get. Obviously, he'd be glad to get back on the pitch, but nothing of note. But on the whole, Man United through to the next round. Coventry City at Wembley. By the way, Man United are playing. It's going to be a tough game, but you'd fully expect them to beat Coventry City, if I'm honest, a championship team. But yeah, it was a weird game, man, because Liverpool gave that game away, in my opinion. The Darwin Núñez mistake, that was criminal. How you can play a square ball, thinking you can pick that pass out when you're not even that technical in the first place. If I'm Van Dijk, if I'm the rest of the team, I'm hammering him, because that's unforgivable, and that's what led to Rashford's goal. Because I see it, I thought, you're not going to play that ball, and the thing is, if it's a more technical player, Like that ball to play there is risky. For someone like Darwin Núñez, who isn't technical to play that ball, is embarrassing. So yeah, he should hang his head in shame, really. And Cody Gakpo was poor when he came on. Liverpool just didn't take their chances. They were pissing about too much at the back. I mean up top, should I say? I think defensively they were good. I mean that Jarrell Quansah looks like a top player, and I believe he'll take over from Van Dijk when Van Dijk eventually moves on, and it'll probably be him and Ibrahima Konate as the centre backs. But he looks very good. He looks very composed on the ball. Yeah, I just think Liverpool didn't capitalise and gave the game away. And I think if Liverpool had been at home, I think the result would have been different. But because at Old Trafford, obviously the crowd are going to be buzzing after getting back to 3-3. I think that's what saw United over the line in the end, really. You know. But yeah, I think all in all, good result for United. Through to the next round. Got the international duty coming up now. I think it's going to be the first time I'm actually going to enjoy watching England. And not because I believe England are going to blow us away with the football under this clown of a manager, Gareth Southgate. But they're actually going to be playing Brazil and Belgium, two teams that are gonna test them. You know, I'm tired of them seeing these playing these dead teams like Moldova and Luxembourg and all these other countries. I don't want to see that rubbish. I want to see them play the elites and see what they've got. So international break coming up. Looking forward to that. But yeah, all in all, Man United got the win through to the next round. And we look forward to the semi-final. Obviously, the other tie is Man City versus Chelsea, which will be a tough game for both teams. I'd expect Man City to get over the line. And then, as I say, I'm looking at a Manchester Derby final, if I'm honest, you know. So yeah, we can just look forward to that. Hope you guys like the stream. Don't forget to smash the like button, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel at Gav Goes In. And I'll catch you guys later on in the week for another stream. Take it easy.